Head coach Rob Senderoff, Rob, you want to make an opening statement?
Well, shoot, it was another. It's back-to-back Saturdays. We had two good teams come in here, and we had a chance to win. You know, we turned the ball over too many times in the second half. I think that goes without saying. Our kids competed very hard, and obviously it's not easy when you lose games like this. I mean, it's not easy. But we'll bounce back, and that's obviously the challenge for us. We got to make sure we bounce back in the next game.
Coach, how was to have Jim Christian back in the Max Center?
Yeah, you know what? Right now is not the time I'm thinking about that. He's a close friend, but that's not my thought process right now, to be honest with you, John.
Talk about the last three. You in the lane, come down, get a defensive stop, and then going for it.
Yeah, Dave, could you give me the running? I usually have that, and I don't have that. And I just watched it, so I should. I remember most of it, but ask the question again. Yeah, we ran a play to get Chris Evans the ball in the middle of the floor where he's normally very good, and he traveled, and he did travel. I think it was Offit guarding him, did a good job. You know, we got the ball where we wanted it, and, you know, they made a good defensive play. Chris had played very well all night long. Then we needed to stop, and we got it. Chris Brewer, I think, had like a partial block. Got the ball into Randall's hands. I didn't have a timeout, but to be honest, I probably wouldn't have called one if I did have it. And he drove down the lane and got into the paint. And he just missed a 5-foot floater, shot that, you know, again, he's made a lot of those type of shots in his career. You know, he struggled obviously this year to make them, but he's made a lot of those type of shots in his career.
Well, did you feel that, and the team felt when you made that run in the second half to get to it, the 10-0, 13-something run, to get a 3-point lead, did you feel that momentum was shifting towards your side?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've made a number of stops in a row. We were up 3 with 3 minutes to go, and you know, we had a couple like sort of empty possessions. They had a tie-up. Bryson drove the ball, and I think he had guys he could have kicked it to, but you know what? He's driving the ball strong, and they got a tie-up. And then, you know, DJ Cooper, who's an excellent player, you know, he made some huge plays, and obviously Reggie Keeley finished them. But DJ Cooper really initiated almost all of that.
Going down the stretch, how do you play Cooper? Do you play him to shoot the ball in those kind of situations?
Well, you know, we were trying, and obviously we didn't do a great job of it, but we were trying to corral him with our post player and have the whole defense, you know, shift over. We've had some success doing that in the past against him. Late in the game, we just, you know, he just was able to get into the paint. And I think he finished one and he dumped one off to Reggie Keeley. But, you know, that's a great player. I mean, you know, and the ball's in his hands the whole night, and he's not an easy guy to guard. And he played, he made big plays, and then he made his free throws when he got fouled and needed to do that. And, you know, that's that good. He's a very good player.
Most of your turnovers in the second half.
Unforced. I felt that way. That's what I was. You know, again, when you're playing these games, you know, against really good teams. I mean, Ohio's really good. They went to the Sweet 16 last year. They're undefeated in the league. They're 15-5. I mean, they're really good. So when you're playing these games, you got to play really hard. That goes without saying. And we did that. And we did that tonight. We did that last Saturday. But you also have to play well. I mean, there's two parts to it. And, again, Ohio turns a lot of teams over, so I don't want to make it seem like they have nothing to do with the turnovers. But I just felt in the second half we had so many unforced turnovers. You know, I'm not going to say the last play. The last play when Chris Evans drives it, I'll give them credit. It's a forced turnover. He did a good job defensively. But to start the second half. You know, we had so many. We had like 4 in a row, and it's hard when the game's at the end and it's a 1-point game. You know, you can always look at the last play, and you can look at the last shot, but there's so many possessions between them, and that's where the game gets lost. You know, and again, we made a unbelievable comeback. Tremendous toughness and heart and all those things that we showed, in my opinion. But you have to play well, you have to play smart, and you have to play hard. And we did, you know, we did one of the 3.
You mentioned, you know, plays that you had 2 potential 4-point plays, double possessions with the technical and the flagrant, and only get possible 8 points and only get 2 of them.
Yeah, you know, those, you know, when you watch the film, and I watched the end when I was waiting for you guys, but when you watch the whole game, those will be some things that you look back on and say, boy, those are empty possessions. But when it's all said and done with 3 minutes to go, if you told me we were up 3, we had the ball, you know, I'd feel like, okay, let's finish this out, and we just haven't been able to. And that's, we got to find a way to get over that hurdle. We got to, because we'll be in this situation again at some point. We got to find a way to get over this hurdle. And we've had situations at Buffalo, at Ball State, where we did finish it out, but we haven't at home against Akron and Ohio.
Is there anything about Randall's shot that almost made you think it was Akron all over again? It looked almost like the same ending.
Yeah, the shot was I don't want to say it was halfway down, but I mean, what more can, with 8 seconds to go, you get the ball into Randall Holt's hands in transition on the run, and he gets it to 4 or 5 feet. You know, I mean, there's not much more you can ask for. You know, there really isn't. There's not much more you can ask for. I mean, you could ask for it to go in. I guess that's the only other thing you could ask for.
You get you did get 10 from Goodson, but it just seems like you need one more score.
You know what?
Chris looks like he's coming into that.
KB played well at the end. You know, at the end, he was the one that put us up a point with a big-time drive. You know, he played well at the end, and then he had a block on DJ Cooper. I think, and take this the right way, I think in the game at the beginning, I think he almost showed DJ Cooper a little bit too much respect, and he didn't play the way he's capable of playing early. And then he, as the game wore on, I thought he sort of played the way we want him to play and need him to play. You know, at halftime, I don't think Chris had any points at halftime. Yeah, he didn't, and he was 4 for 6 in the second half. Just played much better in the second half. But you know what? I need everyone to play well. You know what I'm saying? We just don't have. You can have a guy have an off night, but you can't have. We need everyone to play well. We need everyone to play well. And you know, Darren had his moments, but he also had some costly turnovers. You know, so there's a combination. It's you know, Bryson played really hard, but then he drove it, and you know, he should have kicked the ball, and we work on it every day, drive and kick, and he got it tied up. So, you know, that's part of playing hard and playing well, and he played hard. I mean, he played. They all did. Listen, I can't do anything but say, hey, we played really hard, and they played a little bit better.
It's been a tough 3-game stretch. Got Northern Illinois coming up. What do you guys got to do to rebound?
Yeah, that, you know what, that's going to be that's going to be a big game for us. It goes without saying. You know, again, last Saturday, it was a really tough loss for us. Where similar, we played incredibly hard, and at the end, they made some more plays than us, and we did not respond very well. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm putting that on Randall and Chris Evans for us to respond on Wednesday, and I have no problem saying that. Like, I'll be ready. I'm going to have our team ready. Our coaches are going to coach our butts off, okay? But my seniors have to step up and take the responsibility of making sure our team is focused and plays as hard at Northern Illinois in a much different environment than as we did tonight. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here. We all know anybody who watched the Bowling Green game, we did not respond the right way at Bowling Green. We have to respond better on Wednesday. And that, you know, I saw those two guys after, and that's what I told them. I mean, that's got to be our focus. And that's not easy. You know, when you lose a game like this, it's not easy to bounce back, but we have to bounce back. We have to.